Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of In Other Waters. Last episode, after checking on the various things that we've analyzed, we've found indications of a massive structure. One that it turns out belonged to Baikal, the group that we were actually originally a part of. And, yeah, they've kind of done something here, but the structure was completely destroyed. So whatever happened here, Baikal abandoned them and then completely just said whatever happened here didn't happen. Left the whole thing a mystery. So we're trying to go through and figure out what we can. Alright, activate the speed. Let's get back to where we were as quick as we can, because this place is basically slowly draining our oxygen. So we went through that way, what must have been an entry hall. And over here we have an arcology, which had a lot of, which had a couple buildings in it. Passage through here got blocked off, but it seems we came through the kitchen over here. And right here is where we left off. We've already listened to those. Were these gaps smashed through when the arcology was breached, or are they part of the slow processes of rust and decay? This room is totally obliterated by rock and sand. The shards of bent wall are the only remains of the building. Spirals have been etched across the surface, representing the polyp's path of movement at the rate of an inch per week. The facility twists away into the dark, drifts of pale sand filling its corridors as if it was an ancient tomb. And now we have a new name, Slow Mason. I'll call these Slow Masons for their careful glacial etching into the arcology's walls. They are hypnotic. The metal plates here are marked with elaborate spiraling patterns. Their makers, ghostly polyps, scrape back and forth, adding to their work. The wall glistens with a thick secretion left by a polyp retracing the same pattern over and over. We could sample this thick mucus here, which I think we should. More samples, which will be able to give us back some more power and oxygen. Little bits, but at least it's something. The remains of a workshop or office, flooded with sand and rock, twisted metal plating hanging from bent frames. Sand has filled this corridor, which looks to have led back to the entry hall. The breach must have been catastrophic. A metal desk pushed against the sand drift. A Baikal-branded mug holds a pile of rotting paper from drifting away. There doesn't appear to be anything else here. Oh, wait! Another record. K. Suruta. No one is coming to dig us out. Constantine has cost us everything. The entry hall just breached. This is it. Right, back we go. So yeah, whatever happened here, they were just left to die by Baikal. Because of course, you can never have a corporation that ever does anything good. Or if they do, there's some horrible reason that it can't be good, that it can't just be good. F. Galarza. I'm sorry, Isabel, for what we did here. Among the sand drifts that fill these 4 buildings are the shapes of tiered bunks. This is where they slept. This place isn't a facility, it's a city. How many more died here? Those without dive recorders, those buried under rock and sand. Makes my skin crawl. I'm going to get some shut-eye. First geoengineering shift is in 4 hours. See you in 3. On the still intact berths lie decomposing clothes, a single glove, a pair of round, clouded glasses. The door to the berths is slid back, revealing the sand-choked beds of the Arcology's occupants. A set of overalls lie flat on the berth, wisps of sediment drifting from their openings. A Baikal logo is still faintly visible. K. Anderson. You don't know that, Jason. They are going to come for us. No one is coming. We both know that. J. Apoli. I lied to get here, Kai, and now I'm going to pay for it. What do you mean? This isn't even my real name. So the question remains, what did they find here? What did they do here? Behind the crew quarters, huge pipes sit against the wall, surrounded by sand. What was powering this place when it was in observation? Or, operation? Were these supplying the power for the Arcology? Perhaps a geothermal plant buried deep below? The wide tunnel to the northern part of the Arcology is completely collapsed. Is there anything left under these tons of rock? More life. Brain coral. Oh. Earth-originating species of coral from the families Musidae and Marylinidae. They feed through both photosynthesis and filtering. Hard coral. Earth-born coral, as these polyps build environments for themselves through the calcareous material deposited as their skeletons. This octagonal atrium was clearly once lined with glass and filled with water, an aquarium at the heart of the facility. This pipe, now filled with sand, looks like it exploded outwards, taking the glass atrium wall with it. Are those corals? They must have brought them from the ocean reserves on Earth. The derelict atrium reaches upwards, its sculpted rock towers rising into the dark. We can use it to reach the upper levels. Which we won't right now. Basalt tower is brought from the slopes above to decorate the aquarium, a reminder for the occupants of the ocean above their heads. The fan seems to have a symbiotic relationship with the corals. It consumes their spawn, and they absorb the fan's light. So we can actually get a sample here, interestingly enough. A fan sheath. Well, we could use the power. A ragged split in the atrium wall is lined with rust, leading through into dark, particle-choked corridors. Metal boxes sit on powered pallets, abandoned mid-transit. Why were they moving in and out of this place? With a prime view of the atrium, this had to be the office of someone important within the Arcology. Now it's just another derelict room. What have we got here? I understand, sir. No, we are prepared to follow erasure protocols. The site is already sealed with all hands present. So they did intentionally seal this. Something was found here or done here that they did not want anyone to know about. Question is what? The rock and sand covers the rusted metal of the Arcology so completely that it is hard to know where the facility ends and the caves begin. The walls here are covered in spiraling patterns, an obscure lexicon written in glistening trails of mucus. Oh good, more samples. We can use up these. Get more power and oxygen. Here, the collapsing arcology walls have broken through into an existing cave complex deep beneath the ocean floor. I think we can save on that. We should probably finish exploring this place first. Let's head up through the arcology here, see if we can find anything. Those caves are probably the way out. At least that's what I imagine. Let's see. The struts supporting the window have corroded away, their uncoated metal now furred with rust. 8 broken windows stare out of the atrium into the upper floors, where white-paneled walls resist the rust. At the top of the basalt pillar, a miniature statue of a Baikal suit stands heroically. What the hell was this place? The aquarium glass of the atrium is shattered, leaving only glinting shards in the orange rust-stained sill. The thick chunks of glass can still be seen in the sand. Must have been terrifying when the aquarium shattered. Unlike the lower level, the walls here have resisted the corrosion, their matte white covering stained with orange but unbroken. The huge entryway suggests this is the complex's main lab. Faded Baikal markings explain procedures for entry and decontamination. The security locks lie wide open, giving a clear view of the laboratory equipment beyond. Why didn't these close when the arcology was breached? Were they opened afterwards, the lockdown overridden somehow? This was a computing lab. All these machines are for hardware fabrication. Sealed cups still sit on the surface, styluses buried in layers of silver silt, hardware corroded into lumpen piles. More information. E. Santiago. We have to power down. If the shielding is breached, it could blow out the whole facility. Start shutdown now. V. Kobek. Protect the specimens. These skeletons alone are able to correlate millions of qubits. They are irreplaceable. Half the lab is drowned in sand, an etcher ripped apart by the collapse. This place was almost totally buried, wiped from existence. Ornate geometric skeletons like those found in the Bloom. Monet called them artificers. What are they doing down here? Sphere fragments. The equipment here. They were building something, slicing and etching the artificer skeletons. But what? Can these geodesic spheres really be valuable enough to build a whole arcology around? And then to bury it? I missed the first thing that was said. Here the wall seems to have breached through to a cave system, opened up during the breach. This side of the lab is layered with sweeping sand, covering the layers of ornate machinery. Even in its sorry state, the paneling and double ceiling lock suggests a Baikal lab. Machines glint against the wall. There's a lung crest down here. Please move so I can activate this. There we go. A dark and rough slit behind the lab's paneling leads into the bedrock of the planet. Deep cracks lead into the dark, and a handful of tracks suggest creatures come and go here. Is this the source of the initial breach? This cave system must connect to others under the slopes, allowing creatures to come and go. The cave and the room have merged here, so it is hard to tell one from the other. Was this cave here before the breach? What is sampled here? A mucus bubble. The rooms have been buried in rock, leaving only this shattered passage between them and this cave. Huge slabs of rock have fallen here, erasing the boundary between the lab and the dark caves surrounding it. The acid yellow containers shine brightly in the suit's lamps. Streaks of rust along their sides show they have sealed with time. The ceiling here bulges with the weight of the rock above, the walls of sand curling inwards. The entirety of this room is lost beneath layers of sand. The bars of a metal frame, like bent and broken ribs, poke out of the drift. Sand piles against the barrier, sealed by the emergency override when the arcology was breached. Well, we can open this torch. Or open this. Whatever's inside. The ceiling of the entry hall is partially collapsed, its gridwork of girders bent and rusted. The rusted, choked hall stretches out in the dark below. Wrecks and rocks lie in the shadows of silt. Is this a quick way out? It is. It's a quick way back to the entry hall. So a quick way to get back to here. Nothing over here. A transporter has spilt its load of biohazard containers in a faded but unmistakable neon yellow. What was happening here? A crippled metal shutter has rusted over the hole left by the broken window, a security measure which, in the end, meant nothing. The grubby white paneling gives way to golden sand and rock bursting out from within the rooms themselves. I think I'd need to go to those caves down below. I think there's something there we missed. This whole facility destroyed, buried, erased. Was this what Monet was looking for in the deep of the ocean? But how did she even know it was here? I feel like I'm swimming through other people's secrets. Let's go take a look in these caves. There may be something important in them that I didn't realize. The caves lead away from the bulk of the arcology, wrapping themselves through the solid rock of the planet's crust. The sand filling this tunnel turns it into a dark horizontal slit, but I can detect a current running into it. How deep do these caves lead? The spirals here are smaller and more interwoven than elsewhere in the arcology. Layer after layer forms a patina of circular marks. These caves look ancient and deep. Is this where the creatures now inside the arcology came from? Did the breach release them? A large molted skin is piled in the corner of the cave, fragments of it drifting away across the sand. What creature left this here? Well, whatever it is, it's something we need. Our supplies are full, and it's a molted skin. Let's take the other one. And we'll use one of them to get a lot of power back. Okay. I was right, there was more down here. I should have taken this first. Let's head back. Keep exploring the space. Sorry, I just needed a little water. Yes, I'm aware of the irony. Okay, we've opened up this. Around the atrium, some of these seating areas remain, flooded with sand. It's easy to imagine the lab techs meeting here on their lunch. The ceiling is given way above the lab's second entrance, filling it with rock and sand. What have we got here? G. Fidanza. The financial implications are massive. We have never even come close to achieving this level of computation before. A. Bendiak. I'm sure it is just a standard security drill, Mr. Fidanza. We will be able to return you to the other shareholders shortly. Okay, looks like we can take a look down here. The entire ceiling of this lab has come down, filling the chamber with sand and rock. No one could have escaped. Rusted shut, these hulking metal containers must have carried engineering suits or fabricators. Baikal was building something. Yes, but what? Looks like this is the way to the main lab, so only source we got left. While the main locks are open, the entryway is sealed with a hastily installed security iris. We should be able to cut through. Using up a lot of power, but I think we're still gonna be okay. Though we may need to use something in order to get some power out. Possibly the Spark Colony. The glass door here was violently battered by the breach, breaking open what looks like a clean room. Rows of chairs and corroded consoles scattered across the tabletops. Precisely machined components thick with silt. What have we got here? L. Fiorentini. Take the suit, Akari. Stop arguing. Without you, this project is dead anyway. Oki needs to survive. A. Nomura. My little Mine, I'm sorry to leave you all alone. Sing a little for your mother. It's so quiet here. Mine Nomura. A. Nomura. She came here looking for her mother. A lightweight lab suit sits propped in a chair. Sediment drifts from gashes in the soft material. Hollow sockets in the helmet faceplate. Let's look in here first. It seems closed up. This looks like a suit fabricator, but retooled to build large-scale machinery. Its buckled plates reveal a crimson interior fused by rust. Like blocky coffins, these containers are still used by Baikal to ship their suits to active facilities. These are empty. L. Bosmans. The Artificers. With them, we could rewrite life as we wish. We could rewrite it to endure, Lucas. To surpass us. Oh dear, they were doing various genetic tampering and the like. We still need to figure out what exactly they were doing, but clearly Mine came out here for her mother. The suit is tagged Akari Nomura. I don't understand. How? It's impossible. It's her. It's Mine's mother. This is why Mine came here. She was looking for her mother. She's been here a long time. Decades. Has Mine been looking for her all this time? God, Mine. Why didn't you say something? Anything. I can't... Give me a minute. Akari Nomura's lab. The lab is ripped apart, plates buckled outwards, massive coolant pipes breached, twisted metal now browned with age. A long yellow cylinder marked with turquoise glyphs, identical to the casing mounted on the back of the suit. Our suit. This is the same cylindrical casing as the one mounted on the suit. The same casing that houses you. Akari was building this. Building it from artificers. Building it with the machines in the sarcology. She was building you. This is you. One of you, at least. A draft, an earlier version, a prototype. Akari is your mother. Your creator. Did you know this? Did you know about any of this? No. Then you forgot. You malfunctioned. God, I can't think. We need to go. I don't want to be here anymore. Please. The glass tubes that once fed coolant into the lab's core are shattered, glass shards now smoothed by soft currents. We'll be out of here shortly, don't worry about the power. The inside of the pipe bulges with corroded growth. It stretches up towards the surface, and a faint circle of light glows above. Although it seems we can also go down. Where we could find one last slow mason. Wait, is there something to gather here? A sample, maybe? There is not. Let's get out of here, then. The surface of the basalt towers dances faintly with the blue light that falls from the surface above. They look calm, ancient. The slopes descend into the dark ahead, their silver stilt a single plane leading towards an inevitable end. We're out. I don't know what to say. We're still in range of the ROV on the slopes. Call for pickup. Let's go home. Which we will do in the next episode, because this one's gone on long enough. At least now we know why Monet came here. But this just opened up a bigger question. What was Baikal doing? What did they discover that made them want to completely erase this? What happened? We're gonna have to do more soon. Next episode, we'll return back to base, look at the information we found on the creature we found in there, and hopefully find out more about what's going on after. Hopefully we have a direction. That'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44, also known as Fly. This has been a Let's Play of In Other Waters, and I shall see you all next time.